Okay, so now when we're trying to debug issues in our code dealing with functions, the key thing that we want to remember that we always have here is a debug console. And what the debug console will do is if your program runs into any errors or crashes as it's running, most often, more times than not, it'll print out some type of message down here that gives you a hint as to why your program's not working. So right now, if we run our program, we see that it says error on line 8, syntax error. So if we come to line 8 in our workspace, we see, okay, well, lines 1 and 2, 1 through 3 look fine. We have a comment, and then we have two variables being created. Nothing weird there, right? And then if we look at lines 6, 7, and 8, it appears that all these three lines are supposed to do kind of the same thing. All of them are calling a function. So the first one, buy apple. If we scroll down, what function is called buy apple typed exactly this way? Buy with a capital A apple. That looks like this one. So line 6 calls this function down here. Right? Now, it calls this function down here. But when you take a look at lines 7 and 8, it looks like we're calling functions that I'm not sure we have. All we have is one function down here. Do we have any functions written anywhere else that are spelled exactly like this? Apple with a capital A, or even with a space between buy and apple. Right? I don't see any. So what you want to do is you want to come into your code and say, okay, the only function I have is buy with a capital A. So how do you need to change line 7 and line 8 so that your code does not crash? Because right now, your code is looking for some function that has a lowercase a. It can't find it. It's looking for some function that has a space between the buy and apple. Can't find it. All we have is this function with a capital A, no space. So how do we need to change lines 7 and 8 to match that?